Hey there, Dan with Ranch Vision Sunrise. Tips every morning to help you succeed at life, at business, in relationships, and definitely succeed on the ranch. So I'm going to tell you a story, quick story. So many years ago, I had a job, a horse job. Had a crew about 4 or 5 people. We led trail rides. And every morning the boss would come down completely stressed out, wore out, frantic, mumbling things to himself, totally overwhelmed. And when he would come down to the barn, he would just suck the life out of everybody. Sometimes it wasn't what he said, it was just his overall demeanor of just irritated and heavy, wore out, trying to do too many things. He never felt very approachable to anybody. Every other week he would have a total meltdown and start screaming at somebody over Lord knows what. You never knew what it was going to be. He's always stressed out and overwhelmed. And at the time, everybody is like, what is going on with this guy? What is the deal? What? Nobody ever really said anything. Nobody ever really went to him and said, like, what's going on? You're always stressed out, and like, how do we as a crew help support you? Like, what's going on? Nobody said anything. Whether it's too nice or nobody felt like it would be heard, like, it just went on. Worked there for a couple of years and nobody said anything. Well, one day, had all the horses lined up, saddling, and everybody knows horses, when they cough, they fart. And sometimes you get a little more out the back end when they have a real good cough. One of these horses was lined up with his tail end facing at the boss's tack room, coughing on something. The horse is hacking, coughing, and out comes an absolute volcano of poo. A poo missile flies out of the horse's butt, smacks the back of the boss's tack room. If you didn't know any better, you would swear somebody took a 5-gallon bucket full of horse shit and flung it at the door. Everybody is staring in amazement at what just happened. Absolute shock. And after about 20 seconds of everybody staring at it, we all started to laugh for about 30 minutes straight. And about 28 minutes into that total gut laugh, rolling on the floor laughing, here comes the boss. Well, he's immediately sure somebody threw a giant pile of horse shit at the door and did it deliberately, did it in spite of him, and he lost it. Starts screaming incoherently about Lord knows what, about who taking responsibility and who's not this and what's a joke, and just on and on and on and on, to the point to where there was no explaining what happened. There was no, like, we didn't do it, like it was a horse that's funny. He found zero humor in it. And the rest of the day, the rest of the week, he continued to be in an awful mood. Now you might wonder, how could somebody get like that? Well, we've all worked for a boss that has had an attitude like that. We all have a similar story. Maybe not the volcano missile, but we all have a similar story of a stressed out, overwhelmed boss. And some of you have been in a season of life to where you've managed a business, owned a company. Some of you have been that guy. Have been through a season in life to where you've been the overwhelmed, pissed off, stressed out manager, and you can't see why everyone around you seems to be an idiot, can't do their job, and you're the only thing holding it together. If you've ever been in a management role, you've probably experienced this. So how does this happen? How does everyone end up like that person? Some people have ended up like that their whole life, and no one ever tells them. They don't know they're doing it. And worse yet, if they do know they're doing it, they don't know how to get out of it. This is a classic example of leading from your weaknesses, of micromanaging, of not learning how to delegate, not being able to be vulnerable, not being able to have difficult conversations with people around you. Most people are smart. Most people want to do a good job. The reason why we start thinking otherwise is we get in these scarcity mindsets. We get overwhelmed and stressed out, and we don't realize how much our attitude and our actions cause the results around us. Now, a simple change with my boss back then would be to just talk to his crew. He was not a very approachable person, and that doesn't matter whether or not he was introverted or extroverted. It was how he showed up every day. Granted, all of us probably were not the perfect ideal crew. But if we were to be a good crew, we need to know what's asked of us. What does it mean to do a good job? What does it mean to be failing at what we're doing? What happens if we are good at what we do? Do we get rewarded? Are we able to have conversations with our boss about what we're trying to accomplish for the day, for the week, and why? Now, there's more to it. If you've ever been this stressed out, pissed off boss, a lot of it comes from being in a situation that is not exactly in line with who we are. A lot of us get into leadership roles because we need a raise, we've been at a company for so many years, and the only way to make more money or have more stability is to move up in leadership. And that was kind of the story with this guy. Is he had a dream of owning a ranch, found a guy that bought one, he ended up being the manager. I don't think he ever had a happy day being the manager. I don't think he really understood what it meant, and by the time he was in that role, it was too late. What in the world would he have done otherwise? If he was to let somebody else be a better manager than him, I don't know that he was the kind of person that could be very secure in his own mind and in his own personality to let somebody else do something better than he could, and he could step back and direct the business in another way. That is one of the biggest failures of most managers, and why they get to be they're stressed out and pissed off all the time, is they feel like they have to have the answer to everything. They feel like they can't talk to the people around them, and they put themselves on an island. It's an island that is a cold, lonely place. If you surround yourself with people who are accountable, who are smart, who want to be good people, you will all be better at what you do. You can have open and honest conversations about doing things better. You can be vulnerable in front of each other. You can have conversations about where the company is going and what you're trying to accomplish and how each one of you fit in. So I want to hear in the comments, have you been a pissed off, stressed out manager before? Did you get out of it? Do you feel like you might be in this season of life right now? Do you feel like nobody around you is telling you? Do you feel subtle signs every day that everyone avoids you, hides from you? When you're honest with yourself, do you feel like you distance yourself from your business and your crew for fear of digging into the mess of doing it better? Is it safer to kind of retreat in your own little world just to get through the day and hope things are better one day? Let me know in the comments below. If you are in that season of life, did before, and what did you do to get out of it? Let me know. We've all been there. We all will be there, even if you never own your own business or manage anybody. You're either part of the solution, you're a part of being a part of the crew to help a business or organization get out of this, or you're part of the problem if you just retreat into your own little world. Alrighty, let me know.